For more than a century, this has been one of Britain's most recognisable scrapyards. Located in Masborough, Rotherham, CF Booth grew from a small family business into one of the UK's largest independent metal recycling companies. At its peak, the site processed thousands of tons of scrap every year, handling everything from cars and heavy machinery to railway locomotives and London Underground trains. Today, the yard is almost unrecognisable. After more than 100 years in business, CF Booth entered administration, marking the end of an era for one of South Yorkshire's best-known industrial landmarks. CF Booth was founded in 1920 by Clarence Frederick Booth, who started by buying and selling scrap metal. Thanks to its location beside the railway, the business expanded rapidly, receiving scrap from across the country. The company became famous for dismantling steam locomotives, diesel engines, railway wagons, and industrial equipment. Many railway enthusiasts knew the name CF Booth because countless locomotives ended their lives here, while others were rescued and preserved before they reached the cutting torches. As the business grew, so did its reputation. Huge cranes dominated the skyline, constantly loading, sorting and processing mountains of metal. The company later expanded beyond recycling, producing recycled copper alloys for industries including marine engineering, oil and gas and defence. In 2012, CF Booth received a Queen's Award for Enterprise for its success in international trade. But behind the scenes, the business was facing increasing pressure. Like much of Britain's heavy industry, it was hit by rising energy costs, fluctuating scrap metal prices, and stricter environmental regulations. Operating such a large industrial site became increasingly expensive. In 2024, the company was fined £1.2 million following a health and safety executive investigation after a worker suffered serious injuries when struck by a skip wagon. Investigators found that pedestrians and vehicles had not been properly separated on site. Although the company was still generating more than £100 million in annual turnover, financial accounts showed it had suffered years of losses. Then came the final blow. In January 2026, CF Booth entered administration. More than 100 employees lost their jobs as administrators searched for a buyer. After more than a century of continuous trading, operations at the famous Clarence Metalworks largely came to a halt. Just a few months later, much of the business and its assets were bought by Ron Hull Group through its company HU11 Limited. The purchase saved part of the operation, with railway recycling activities continuing under the new owners. However, the future of the wider site remains uncertain. Plans have been submitted to demolish several buildings while parts of the scrapyard continue operating, signalling the beginning of a new chapter for the historic site. The collapse of CF Booth also had an impact beyond the scrapyard itself. The Booth family had long owned nearby Millmoor Stadium, the former home of Rotherham United. Following the administration, the stadium changed ownership, and demolition plans have since been submitted after years of standing abandoned. Standing here today, it's hard to imagine the scale of activity that once filled this site. Freight trains regularly arrived carrying redundant railway vehicles, towering cranes worked around the clock, and hundreds of employees kept one of Britain's biggest recycling operations moving. For generations, CF Booth symbolised the industrial strength of Rotherham. Its story reflects the wider history of British manufacturing and heavy industry, decades of growth and engineering excellence followed by increasing financial pressure and change. Whether this site continues as part of the recycling industry or is eventually redeveloped, CF Booth has secured its place in Britain's industrial history. If you enjoyed this look at one of Yorkshire's most iconic industrial sites, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to UK Drones, and let me know in the comments which location I should explore next.